Check out this stock right here. It is exploding to new all-time highs. And the outlier buy signal, it came a little bit ahead of time. You would have been in had you been following that buy signal. So we're going to cover this stock and more on today's trading room. So Joe is joining me today. Joe is one of our Outlier University graduates, and we're going to talk about all kinds of stocks. And we're going to start with this one here, AMD, which used to be known as the Advanced Money Destroyer. But now it's the Advanced Money Distributor, right? It's just giving you all the monies all the time. So a couple weeks ago, well, maybe not a couple weeks ago. So last October 6th, yeah, I guess it was about a couple weeks ago. They had the news that they're partnering with OpenAI, and that had caused the stock to explode higher. And then, you know, Trump, China. I just tweeting all the time from my golden toilet. I got nothing better to do than mess with the market. And then it's popping up even higher today, right? So AMD popping up even higher. Buy signal came on October 7th. Where was that at? Let's go see October 7th real quick. Here, buy signal came right there. So if you had followed this buy signal, which I think a lot of our outliers did, you'd be up 12%. Oh, like Troy right here. He rolled AMD for a big credit. Congratulations to you, Troy. Now, rolling is one of those fantastic ninja hacks that you learn here in the Outlier trading room. So I'm really, really happy for you. Now, we're up 12% since the buy signal came through. But what's the big news? Big news of the day. Analyst announced plans to use 50,000 of the company's advanced AI chips, and multiple analysts raise their price targets. Right? It's AI is such a buzzword right now, Joe. If you're any company, man, just a few years ago, if you said blockchain, I remember Kodak, who makes, you know, I don't know what they make anymore, but the film, the cameras, all the Kodak stuff, right? They had some sort of Bitcoin blockchain announcement, and that set the stock skyrocketing, right? It was a GameStop situation where it was like a shitty stock. They said blockchain, and then off to the races for a minute. It feels like that's where we're at right now in this cycle. What do you think?
Yeah, anytime you're in a corporate meeting, there's always commentary about AI. What are we going to do with AI today? What are we going to roll out an agent for? You know, it's all the talk of the town, and the market seems to like it too.
It does. It does. Hey, if you want to boost your share price, just go make a press release about using AI. Oracle detailed its plans to expand its AI cloud services. So now we're talking AI for Oracle and AI for AMD at the same time. Let's look at let's actually take a look at Oracle as well in just a moment. Don't let me forget, Joe. We're going to look at Oracle. But in the meantime, let's go back to the news story. So Oracle is going to use its AI cloud services by using AMD's Instinct MI 450 series GPUs starting in the third quarter of next year. So Wedbush maintained an outperform rating, but it also increased its price target from 190 to 270. We're pushing 237 right now. By the way, how useless are price targets? How useless are price targets, right? I could circle anywhere I want on the chart and be like, oh, that's my target. Does it actually mean it's going to do anything? No. Well, let's continue on, right? So the year-end price target for them was 190. Now it's at 237. So they're like, well, we can't let it be, can't let it be that far above our price target. Our incredibly smart analysts should have known better, right? HSB maintained a buy rating, and it lifted its price target to a street high of $310. Okay. $310. Really? How far up is that?
That's a long way to go.
Yeah, no joke. That's 30% higher. Really? Okay. I mean, it is trending up. You know what? Hang on. For all the AMD bros out there, we're going to hit the HSBC target by the end of the week. Just hang on tight. $75 in this stock. You'll be able to retire a millionaire. That's what's going to happen next. I mean, 30% for AMD is nothing, of course. Then there was an upgrade from Wolf Research and a price target increase from Mizuho. I don't know. But let's take a look objectively at AMD. We'll also take a look objectively at Oracle. So AMD got that buy signal, like I say, back on October 7th. It's climbed 12% already. So therefore, that 30% higher price target, we should hit that by Halloween, right? We should. Did you hear what I said there? We should get to that point real quick, right? I'm being sarcastic. Don't you dare do this. Just go buy all the out of the money calls you want, because you're going to be, driving Lambos by the end of the week. 2 weeks from now, you'll probably own the Bugatti factory, right? Not just own a Bugatti, but the Bugatti factory. So keep that in mind. Now, the stock is definitely trending up, has a buy signal. Fear and greed is growing, and no outlier blocks in the way. No, it's clearing this one right now. And new all-time highs, that's bullish AF. Yeah, now AMD cleared that order blocks. Well said, Rebrana. Well said. But the sector's not helping it out. The sector's getting less and less greedy. The market's not helping it out. We have a sell signal on the market. We have bearish breadth on the market, but we do have a bullish trend. So, Joe, if we had the market working for it, if we had the sector working for it, that 30% target, they should have raised that to 300%, honestly. Like, because it really can push the stock up that much higher. Because the stock is not in a vacuum, right? 40% of the moves do the market. 30% do the sector, and only the last 30% do the stock. And if it's performing this strong right now, without the sector, without the market, just think of how much bigger and better it would be. Just think of how much bigger and better it would be. Let's go to Oracle. Oh, don't forget, sell your SoFi shares. Sell your SoFi shares, right? But Chris, that's so much SoFi shares. Looking at Oracle, we have a sell signal on that. The trend sideways-ish, but still 10 over 20, price over 50. Fear and greed is rising from yesterday, but it got super, super high. But day over day, it is going up. And then it does look like there could be an outlier block in the way of this, so be aware of that. Again, in the tech sector and the market working against it. So AMD pushing up higher, yet Oracle, who put out the news, is not so much. Just interesting to see. So let's shift gears, right? Everybody's going to go be millionaires by the end of the week because they bought $75 of AMD stock. But for those of us who actually do trade with the plan, welcome to the Outlier Trading Room invitation only live stream. This is where we help you save time, make money, and start winning with less risk. So go ahead and subscribe if you're watching this on the replay if you haven't already. I can't believe you made me sell my SoFi. I owned it since it was 11 cents. Nah, this random guy on the internet said so SoFi. We're going to go through plans M, A, ETF, and sit in cash and don't F up. And listen, if you want normal returns, this is not the place for you. But if you want outlier returns, you're in the right place. So plans M, A, ETF, and sit in cash and don't F up. Before we do anything, we need to reduce risk before adding new trades. Now, we're currently in plan sit in cash and don't F up. So let's go look at the exit signal for that. Exit signal is an entry in M, A, or ETF. So now the next step is to go look at plan M. Now, why do we go, Joe, why do we go through the PowerPoint every day? Why do we go through the plan every day?
Well, because it makes it difficult to miss a step if you look at every step every day, and it'll become ingrained and it'll become second nature, like Michael Jordan shooting a foul shot.
Exactly, right? It's having the plan. I was reading a book one time, and it was like having a what do you call it? Not a blueprint. Having a plan is your savior, right? That way you can go off script, you can do whatever, and you can always step back in and say, "Oh, let me get back on the plan. Let me get back on the plan." So 40% of the moves through the market. We already talked about how the SPY is in a bullish trend. Let's go evaluate that real quick. There we go. 10 over 20, price over 50. Now, we had that big sell-off a few days ago on Friday, and now we're pushing back up. We've got to close over the 10 and over the 20. This is great. This is really constructive. But I'll tell you one thing. These big candles, like look at the ATR values down here, right? We went from an ATR value of around 4.7 up to 7.17. So what percentage is that? 7.17 divided by 4.7. No, I did that wrong. 7.17 minus 4.7 divided by 4.7. We're 52% more volatile in this market. Now, that is more characteristic of a bear market than a bull market. I put this out in our Discord earlier today. The heightened volatility is way more characteristic of bear markets than bull markets. Okay. Now, we still have that bullish trend in place, which is great, but this volatility is totally different. So if you were trading SPY, you would want to trade 50% smaller than you would a week ago. Now, it sounds crazy, right? That sounds crazy. Why, Joe, why in the wide world of sports would I want to trade the same stock a week later at roughly the same price with half the number of shares. That doesn't make any sense to me, Joe.
Well, we want to trade risk first, right? You always want to have as little risk as possible. And if it's going to be swinging $10 when normally it would only trade $1, you can't have the same position size because you're putting 10x risk on.
That's right. The volatility has increased so much, meaning the risk has increased so much. And the way that we keep our risk consistent is we shorten up our size, right? We reduce our size proportionally to the amount of risk, to the amount of volatility that grew, right? These are professional fund manager tactics. Okay. Genius Joe. Thank you. That's a great nickname. Genius Joe. These are professional fund manager tactics that I learned from a $1 billion hedge fund manager that I am teaching to you. Don't disregard these lessons that I teach you. Okay. So SPY still in a bullish trend. However, market breadth, more and more sell signals, more and more sell signals. We're down at 19.43%, meaning 81-ish% of the market has a sell signal. I want to look at the map. 81% of the market has sell signals. Let's go to the last week. This doesn't look all that great to me. In fact, I am more bearish than I am bullish right now because we've got heightened volatility. We've got bearish breadth. Let's continue on over here in our Outlier 9. And then we've got a sell signal on all the market indices. All the market indices are in sell status. Market breadth is weak AF. 81% of the market has sell signals. We're getting less and less uptrends, more and more downtrends. Joe, I don't see a big bull case right here. But listen, I could be wrong. What do you think?
Well, there's always going to be stocks that are going up, right? But if 81% of them are going down, you're going to try to pick one of the 20%. And my plan doesn't read like that, right? I'm trying to go with a trend. I want the majority of these stocks going up. I don't want to get in front of the steamroller, right?
Right. Yeah, dude, a rising tide lifts all ships. And that applies to stocks too. A rising tide lifts all ships, but a falling tide shows who's swimming naked, right? We here at Outlier, we don't wear pants, but we aren't going to be swimming naked either. So that's one of the big deals that I want you to take today, right? AMD is absolutely bucking the trend of everybody else, right? AMD is performing in a way that is unique and incredible. And if you own AMD, if you took that buy signal, dude, congratulations to you. That is fantastic. But the last thing that you want to do is go predict, right? I don't want you going out there looking at these price targets and saying, well, you know what, 310, that's my price target too. If a lot of people do this, Joe. If HSBC says their price target is 310, well, by golly, I'm going to hold it until it hits 310. There is a possibility, Joe, that it never reaches 310. Never in the history of time will it reach 310. It's very possible. Very possible.
Yeah, I used to do that as a new trader. I really listened to what those analysts had to say, and then you hear video after video of commentary from professionals saying, you know what, the analysts have no idea what they're doing. So why am I going to follow them? Right?
Huh. That's
What I have seen is if I happen to be in a stock and some analyst makes a price improvement like that, sometimes it goes up and I'm like, yay, great. But it doesn't consistently mean the price is going to go up.
No. There was one not long ago within the last year that I was in. I can't tell you what it was off the top of my head, but I was in the stock and some jerk at some bank was like, oh, we're going to downgrade the stock. And it totally tanked my position. And it's just like, seriously, like leave my stock alone. Go pick any other stock out there. You don't have to downgrade this one, right? So frustrating. It's like an earnings event that you can't see coming, right?
Yeah.
I don't know when Jim Bloom over at HSBC is going to say, oh, I don't like AMD anymore. And then it's just going to drop, right? Nothing we can do about that.
And it's a real risk, even, with Plan M being Masters in the Universe plan. You could still have that happen. You can't control it. You just have to look for your exit signals and get out when they tell you to.
Dude, for sure. And here's another thing that we have to contend with for the next several years. Anytime that Donald Trump is, had a little too much coffee, needs to go relieve himself, there is now the possibility that the stock that you're in is going to get crushed. It's just a possibility now, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so much fun. But listen, let's take a look now. I want to look at some new stock ideas from you. Put a hashtag in and the stock that you are interested in looking at. And then after we look at some new setups, I would love to look at some setups that you actually own right now. I know a lot of you are in gold. Some of you are in AMD. We already talked about AMD, so we don't have to talk about it again. All right, there's tons of opportunities out there. My trading plan has me in cash. You know what, Joe? Speaking of the plan is your savior, I totally didn't go through this. We have a bullish trend. We have a sell signal on the SPY. The SPY heat map is under 70 and falling. And then full stock's breadth is bearish. So if these continued, we'd go with plans M or A, and we can't do that. So now let's go to plan ETS. See, this is exactly why you have a plan, right? I got completely distracted, and I can come back here and I can look at this and say, okay, well, we do have uptrends in either of these, but we have sell signals in both of these. So I don't have any plan ETF. So I have no plan A, no plan M, no plan ETF. So the only plan to do is
sit in cash and don't F up your account.
That's right. That's right. See, that was a segue. I pulled that all the way back around. I pulled
way to go. We did have a question on the ESCO transactions from the other day, though.
No, we don't take questions around here. No, we'll get banned from YouTube. I heard that that's a thing that people have happened to them if they take questions. No, I'm just joking. What's the question, Joe? I missed it.
Our question was, in the last trading room, when you bought ESCO, you used a market transaction as opposed to a limit order. And for our new folks who may be thinking, Chris always uses market orders, maybe we want to explain why you used a market order to buy ESCO.
That is a brilliant question. So for me, when I am buying an option, I want to use a limit order. Now, a limit order says, for example, let's say I want to buy it for $1.50. I only want to buy it for $1.50. I will not get into it if it's more than $1. Imagine like eBay, right? Say, hey, I want to buy this new Scrooge McDuck clock. Right? I spent $35 on eBay to buy this exact clock. So there you go. Here's what a limit order is, right? I will spend $35 and no pennies more to buy this stock. That is what a limit order is. And so your broker will sit it there. And if there is something available to come down to that price, whether it's $1.50, whether it's $35, whatever, you decide. If something is available that meets your price, boom, you're filled, you got it, right? You get to take home this lovely new Scrooge McDuck clock. However, a market order is okay in certain circumstances. There we go. I don't know what else happened there. This is professional YouTube channel here, Joe. In certain circumstances, you can use market orders. Now, a limit order, like I say, only gets you filled at your price or better. If they can get you filled at $34.95, they'll get you filled at $34.95. And when there's options, that spread is a little bit wide, right? That spread can be 30 cents wide, 40 cents wide. My limit is 50 cents. And so because of that, we want to have tight bid and asks, like Trav was just talking about right there. But we also control the price we get filled. Now, a market order is give me the stock, give me the option immediately. I don't care what price it is. Give it to me now. As you can hear, that could be problematic, right? That could be like walking into eBay and saying, I want that Scrooge McDuck clock. I don't care what it costs. Give it to me, right? I'm not doing that. You're not doing that. Smart market participants aren't doing that. However, if there is vast amounts of liquidity, like in TQQQ, SPY, and the underlying stock where it trades millions and millions of shares a day, you don't have to worry about that. They're going to fill you like immediately. It might be a penny or two off one direction or another, but you're not going to have to worry about the price change being monumental, right? However, the options are a different story because options don't trade in millions and millions of open interest. They might trade in thousands or maybe even hundreds. Okay, so that definitely changes things. Okay, the best example I can ever give is a story that happened to me. It was back when I was selling options. I had sold a Iron Condor around AK Akamai, AKAM, and I remember specifically this trade was supposed to, when you sell options, you want the price of the option to come down. So let's say that I sold it for $1, and then the volatility, the Vega, we talked about volatility in the last episode. The Vega contracts because it's now after earnings, and I was trying to get out of it for, let's say, 50 cents. So I would have kept a 50-cent profit as it went down from $1 to 50 cents. I'll never forget this because I'm driving down the road, and you should never drive down the road and trade. But I'm trying to get out, and I'm pinning it down, or really pinning it up in this case. It should have been filled at 50 cents. It wasn't. So I was like, okay, what about 60? Not filled. What about 70? Not filled. What about 80? Not filled. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm driving. I gotta get this done. Market order. It ended up getting filled at like $1.40, which meant I took a 40-cent loss on a trade that 100% was going to work. The only thing that happened was liquidity was not there, which is why I wasn't getting filled. And I hit the market order, which got me filled instantly at the very next possible instance.
Ooh.
Yeah, it sucked. I was so pissed. I was like, this should have been a 40-cent trade, not $1.40. I was livid. But what can you do? You said, give me a market order. That's what you get. Right. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to options, under no circumstance use a market order. When it comes to stocks and it's super liquid, millions of shares traded, it won't make a difference. It won't make a difference. But that was a great question. Thanks for that, Joe.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go over here. I ran the screener. We have the same ones from the last couple days. However, we can now take trades that are up to 5 days old. There's AMD on the list right there on the screener. Let's look at a contemporary for AMD. How about Hewlett Packard? HPE. All right, so HPE got that buy signal on October 10th. Still bullish, 10/20, price over 50. Key map moving up, not a whole lot, but it is moving up. But again, in the tech sector, it's not going to help you out. It's really not. So for me, HPE would be one that I would pass on. It doesn't fit my plan, and that's okay. But there's always new opportunities out there, and that's why I want to hear from you. Hashtag in the chat to look for new opportunities. Brian wants to go short on HIMS. Brian getting dirty. So one of my rules is never short a bull market and never go long a bear market. We're still in a bullish market right now. So Brian's like, you know what? I'm going to do it. Brian, it's up 19% today, crashing up into this order block. I am not getting in the way of that stock, but you know what? I'm here for you, my dude. Let's go take a look at it together. We're looking at HIMS. Actually has a buy signal that finally came through, September 29th buy signal. Where was that at? Hey, finally paid off right there. There you go. From here to here, up 8% so far. The trend is still bullish. Fear and greed, moving more towards fear. The staple sector is also very fearful, although the sector is getting slightly less fearful. More downtrends than uptrends, though. That's what this shows right here. So 5 of 9, actually, if I had to rank this, Joe, 5 of 9 would fall right into the weak buy category. And then a big move up like this on HIMS, I just wouldn't get in the way of this. However, HIMS is unique. HIMS has this repeat of the market cycle over and over and over and over and over. And maybe that's about to happen again. But I'm not getting in front of that steamroller. Not right now. Not for sure. But you know what? Everybody can trade whatever they want. There's nobody sitting on your shoulder saying to do this or do that. So be sure to know where your risk is at there, Brian. Slippers Pilot wants to look at CEG long. This is in the utility sector, which this sector is great. Look at this one. Buy signal came on September 16th. Let's go to CEG. Whoa, this is beautiful. September 16th, right? Shram. Right now, it did have that order block. Once it cleared that order block, right, it futzed around in there a little bit, right? You can see how it had resistance right there. Once it cleared over the top of that order block, it was gangbusters at that point. However, from the buy signal to today, it's up 25%. That is gorgeous, gorgeous. 10/20, price over 50. The sector is looking good on fear and greed. The sector is looking good on breadth. And so this is one of those, right? Now, Now, Slipper's Pilot. What you're experiencing right here is what I like to call effortless trading, right? Instead of fighting the trend of the market and the sector, kind of like tech stocks are right now, this one has the sector helping you out. And that is why it just feels so easy when you find a stock like this and it goes up 25% in the span of 20 days. So congratulations to you on that. That's a great one. Let's see. Mr. Wahoo, Mr. Art, he wants to look at NVTS. NVTS. Oh, no, we don't cover NVTS. Let me double check that I spelled it right. NVTS. No, and that's okay. We cover 2,600 of the most liquid stocks out there. However, we are adding 6,000 more by the end of the month. 6,000 more. So NVTS is probably on that list. Now, huge move up. It's up 18% today. A giant move up the day before, right? This is what you're looking for. A semiconductor stock right here. You got your 10/20 price over 50. Once it pushed through these order blocks, I mean, here's the deal, right? If you loved this stock and you're like, man, I can't buy it when it has this order block right here, and then it closes like this, and then it does another 18% the following day, that is a gorgeous stock. What do you think of this one, Joe?
Man, it's going to be nice when I hit the stock like that. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and this is in the tech sector. So this is one that kind of bucks the trend. And because of that, it absolutely could be even better. Could be even better if it had the trend in the market get in your favor. All right, let's shift over to S stocks right now. So hashtag S for a stock that you own that you want us to take a look at. Sean wants to look at URA. You're all what, Sean? What are you trying to say, Sean? Sean, how dare you? We don't even cover URA. Joe, finish the sentence. URA.
Amazing mentor.
Oh, Joe. I'll have to triple your double after the quadruple of the raise that we gave you the other day. That was so sweet of you, Joe.
Aww.
What a kiss ass. I mean, thanks a lot, Joe. So looking at URA, this is a uranium stock. Really, really, really beautiful trend right here, right? Ever since the 10 crossed over the 20, price went over the 50. So this date right here, August 26th, 27th, ever since then, it's up the close 46% in 33 days, right? Now, not every time the outlier trend template sets up will it do like this. You are a Uranus. How you like that? Professional YouTube show here, folks. Every time the stock looks like this, it has to have the 10/20 price over 50. But not every time the 10 goes over the 20 and price goes over the 50 will it do this, right? But if you want to be in the trends, you've got to look for the trend template to set up. Peter wants to look at TEURA Outlier. There we go. I like that one. Peter wants to look at TE Energy. We don't cover that one either. God, why y'all give me the ones we don't cover? Golly. Let's look at TE. We'll probably cover it here in a couple of weeks, so get ready for it. Whoa! Up 30% today. Peter owns his stock and he's up 30% today. That's what's going to happen to AMD in a couple of days, right, Joe? Don't forget, mark your calendars. By the end of the week, I'm being sarcastic. Don't actually do this. By the end of the week, AMD is going to be up 30%, hitting that price target. There we go. All right. So what a rocket ship, right? Again, look at this trend. This trend happened way back here. Trend happened when it was $1.36. Now it's a $5 stock. It's up 282%. Goodness gravy. Goodness gravy. Now, again, outlier block right there. If you even waited until the close over that in the middle of this big uptrend, you could have got that big move like Peter did. Oh, Peter, what a winner, dude. Way to go. Let's do Mr. Yoshika. How you doing, Mr. Yoshika? I don't remember seeing you here before, but I'm glad you made it. SMR long. It's going to be another one we don't cover. Get ready. No, we do. Okay, sweet. All right, Mr. Yoshika wants to see. Okay, so we do have the buy signal there. The trend, fear and greed. It looks like we've got some room up to this order block right here. This is in the industrials sector. What is SMR? New Scale Power Corporation. SMR makes total sense for that ticker. Okay, let's go to SMR. Oh yeah, there we go. It's cleared the order block. So now you're free, but you're free to check your bag and roam around the cabin, as they say, right? When you're going up to the moon, that's what this stock looks like. Beautiful trend, just blew through this order block. Looks like new, at least 52-week highs, maybe potentially all-time highs. Running up into earnings, also one of my favorite plays. I love this one. This one is a gorgeous one. Even though it's only 5 of 9, I really, really like it. Up 16% today. If the sector could help you out here, it could be even better. Istanbul, let's look at Mara. Istanbul wants to look at Mara. He's long from $13. All right, Mara, buy signal came all the way back on September 16th in the tech sector, so the sector's not helping you out here. But another one, bucking the trend. Looks like it cleared another order block, right? Let's go to Mara. Oh, very cool. Let me remove some drawings. I'll make it a little bit easier to see. Awesome. Like someone could say a cup and handle forming, something like that. I don't do patterns, but it definitely looks like that. Mara looks sharp as well as running up into earnings. Now, Joe, we cover tons of stocks out here, right? And the best way to know where to get out of some of these stocks, because we just talked about where you could get in, is by going over to outlier.com, grabbing the annual pass, which is just 82 cents a day. I don't want to leave you out in the cold, but you're going to need to get those exit signals to know where to get out. So, Joe, if somebody were looking to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, what do you think they should do?
They could click on one of these videos here, and for instance, they could go look at Outlier University and learn all they could.
That sounds great, Joe. What's the cost of Outlier University? It's probably exorbitantly expensive.
Well, it's actually free. You just need to have access to YouTube.
Wait, I thought people charge tens of thousands of dollars, and there's no way that they would put anything like that out there for free. How could somebody put out world-class trading education from 5 of the market wizards and 16 years of trading experience for free? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mentioned you're an amazing mentor, and obviously we have evidence now.
Oh, that's very sweet of you, Joe. Making me blush there, Joe. Either way, y'all click one of those buttons. Don't forget to hit the like button, like Rick said, and I will see you very, very soon.